And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OC as we have returned. We have returned with our third best of 5 of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with Eric versus Allison. Now we are here with our TVP, our TvZ, our Terran versus Zerg, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, currently teamless, representing himself. I believe the number 3 seed, the number 3 ranked player in the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. It is INexorable. How so close? Oh, sorry, on Team Little Fairy. Of course, he was recently picked up. My apologies. Was recently picked up. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have a Claw for Eximius Gaming. Let's go. Let us go. Claw, I think, would I say that Claw is the second best Zerg player in Brazil at the moment? I might go that far. It's hard to say. Like right now, I think it's a toss-up between Claw and Dominoco. Like I do rate Dominoco quite highly as well. Dominoco, we're going to be featuring him later on in the broadcast, so don't you worry. But what I really love, and what my biases are showing a little bit here for Claw, as he does open up pool first, so he goes pool, gas into a hatchery. Interesting opener, might I add. But Claw, his idol is Eric, and we have seen Claw emulate Eric a lot, so I appreciate Claw for that. I do appreciate him. For emulating and for kind of in a way paying a lot of his play to Eric here. But we'll see how he does open up. And again, a really odd build here at a Claw. Pull first into a hatchery, or sorry, pull first into a gas geyser into a hatchery. So really early gas at a Claw, but not insanely early. With this Claw, he will have earlier link speed. This can lead into an early roach rush into a Bane Bust. You can see Lings are moving out across the map. They're going to be avoiding the initial scout of his opponent to try to delay the CC. So the goal here is to delay. Meanwhile, Claw, he's banking up gas. That's a lot of gas. He goes past 100. At most, you would get 100, then pull out for link speed. But no, Claw, he commits into, yep, there we go, insanely fast Lair. Lair is on the way. INexorable does break forward. Gonna be forced back. So far, INexorable, his scout is denied. Lings, they get across the map. They will delay the CC. They will barely delay. And it delays for a couple of seconds. It does distract INexorable as he's going for the main. He's going into the main base. INexorable, he does get the scout if he confirms. Whew, he does confirm. He does get eyes on the lair. He doesn't know exactly what's going on. It's going to be a lair into a roach warren. And what is the lair for? That's what I want to know. Is this a Nidus all-in? The lair could be for a Nidus worm. The lair could be for Dropper Lords if we get into Overlord speed. Otherwise, this could be for just roach speed, right? To just go for a roach all-in with roach speed, which would be a bit of an oddity here. We've yet to determine the purpose. Ah, there it is, Nidus. Okay, now we know. I was like, is it for Dropper Lords? Is it for roach? That's for Nidus. So Nidus all in here. From Claw. Also, my apologies, I got ahead of myself, but if you're in the chat, predictions now open. Place your bets, get your gamma going on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As predictions are open for a couple of moments here as we get into our series. Oh boy. Here we go. Meanwhile, we have the Nidus in the main base. INexorable, he has vision. He has scouting. He's aware of what's going on. Is aware. He can respond. And here we go. Roaches, they do pop out. Boys are being pulled. A lot of SCVs going to be going down here. Going to be 9, 10, 11 SCV kills. I mean, this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of control. Oh, getting up to 15 SCVs. Okay, 15 SCV kills does critical damage in the main. But is it enough? There is a Banshee. Nidus is going to go down. Now, what I'm worried about here, this is good damage. Don't get me wrong. This is good damage. INexorable still ahead. Economically, I mean. INexorable, he has 23 SCVs plus mules. Right now, Claw has a 3 drone advantage. and that does not make up for the mules here of INexorable. So this is good. INexorable still looking solid. INexorable is still in this. He still has a superior economy, and he has Banshees to counterattack. Like, that's how committed this all-in was. Like, that's how much damage you had to do more than this. We had to end the game, and Claw fails to end the game. And now I'm concerned. Like, again, like it was nice damage and all, but we'll see. As Claw is forced to throw down Spore Crawlers, we have Roach Speed on the way. Now, Claw can turn this into a 2-base all-in. He can build up on 2 bases, get a 3rd base just for Larva, is what I would assume. And then from here, we could try to like get into like a follow-up 2-base all-in. That is possible. That is going to be possible. As the Banshee does poke in. Spire is on the way, so okay, 2-base Muta. Okay, this is once again quite risky here from Claw, but I'm all for it. 2-base Muta here out of our Zerg player. Behind this, we have INexorable getting into Bio, getting into Stim, going for his own 2-1-1 setup, into 3-1-1 actually. And I am concerned for Claw. I'm very much so concerned for Claw here. On the one hand, the Spire is unscouted. That is true. Mutas, they can get damage done. That is also true. What do Mutas struggle against? Early Sim timings, right? Like, we have so many Marines and so much Bio to work with, and here it is. We have the initial double drop. And we're going to need some Roaches here to defend. I believe Claw should have enough, especially with his Queen support. He should have enough to hold on. Oh, a brutal supply block. We got 1, 2, almost 3 Overlords. Kai's back nicely, takes down all the Lings. Shuts down the Slowlings, going for the Roaches. Roaches are going down. Oh my god. Getting one. Will bleed out 1 medevac, but that was still well worth it here for INexorable. Because of that supply block, he took down 3 Overlords. There's no Mutas. The Spire is done, but 0 Mutas for Claw. He has 800 gas in the bank. He wants to spend his money, he wants his Mutas, but he needs his Overlords first. And here we go, 7 Mutas on the way. Getting to Lingbane, transitioning into Lingbane. But this is all on 2 bases. And INexorable. He's got Widow Mines building up, turrets in the bases, in the mineral lines. INexorable, he is secure. It's looking very in form. And as the Mutas move out, I believe that's a Banshee going for the mineral lines. Here we go, 26 more Lings in production. Mutas, they do threaten. To threaten the bases. Going back into the main. Oh my god, back into the main base. Mutas, they just get annihilated. They get shut down. Black Bear's Bane rolling in. Baneling speed is done. And how good are the splits? So far, yeah, they're good enough. Solid splits there by INexorable. He shuts down the Lingbane. Now he sims and he wins. What is there left to hold him to stop him? Couple of Roaches, couple of Lings, Marines that built for this. Without Banelings, there is no defense. And INexorable from here was snowball out of control. Mutas, they do nothing. And the 3rd base has been broken. From here, he can just keep on pushing and just keep on going. We see Claw trying to go for a counterattack, trying to force back the army. That's not going to happen. There's only 5 mutas. INexorable still stimming in. Mutas, they do intercept a drop. Oh, there are a couple of banelings. There are a couple of banelings. But even then, still not enough. As INexorable still stimming on forward, going for the baneling nest itself. Oh. And it looks like Claw barely has enough to hold on. He does survive. Jeez. The hot pick up Mike. Never mind. Never mind. He does not survive. He doesn't hold on. GG, well played. INexorable, he will break the base. He will break Claw, and he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. He will take a lead in the series. Again, Claw going for his initial Nidus all-in did a lot of damage, right? Like, it was kind of unscouted. The Nidus did finish up in the main base. I'm a little bit surprised that did happen. And he did kill 15 SCVs, which is good, but as we mentioned, not good enough. He was that much all-in. He was that much more all-in, that much more committed. He needed to end the game then and there. Killing 15 SCVs wasn't even enough to equalize the economy. It wasn't enough to give him a lead. Wasn't enough to get ahead. It just wasn't enough to deal some damage to keep himself in the game, but in the end was overwhelmed. In the end, he was overwhelmed. Going into the Muta follow-up was a bold move. It was bold, it was risky, as we saw. Again, against the heavy marine composition, Mutas, they didn't really do much. There's also a reason why Muta play is really uncommon nowadays in the meta, right? It can be difficult to really make them pay for themselves. Muta play can be really risky. Wasn't worth it. Was not worth it in the end. GG, well played with that. INexorable does take a lead, and now we are jumping into game number 2. Let's go. We'll see if INexorable can extend his lead. We'll see if Claw has another all-in or some standard play ready for us. Let's go. We're jumping into game number 2. And here we go. Settling in. Oh, hello. Hello. Zete coño. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh. As we're jumping into game 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, leading the series 1-0, representing his new team, Little Fairy. It is INexorable. I got too ahead of myself. Oh my god, this was a long one. Jesus. There it is. Rank number 3 in the standings. As the #1 Terran in the tournament, and spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent going for a 15 pool opener. We have a Claw for Eximius Gaming. Let's go. Since I probably should have stayed on Link Bane, I would say that regardless of what Claw went for, it was an uphill battle. Again, just to re-emphasize, he went for an all-in at the start of the game, and the all-in failed. He was behind after the all-in, so whether he went into, if he didn't go Mutas, if he went into Roach Ravager, if he went into Ling Bane, I think the best option for him would have been a 2-base all-in in the aftermath, regardless of what it was, whether it was like a Ling Bane base all-in or Roach Ravager base all-in. I don't think that a macro game would have been possible from that point, unfortunately, just because of how far behind he was after the first failed Nidus all-in. So it was just a really rough position there for Claw. Very rough. But with that, we are now getting into our next game, getting into game number 2, and we'll see how our players do recover coming into this. As a reminder, Claw did go for a faster spawning pool. He went pool, hatchery into a gas geyser. Wait, no, my apologies. So once again, he went pool, gas, hatch. Okay. And this time, no rushing into a lair, rushing into early roaches. Once again, he's going for an all-in. Oh, he's going for a roach rush, I should emphasize. Ooh, as he attempts to pull the boys, but he does not deny the scout. INexorable, he saw everything he needed to. He saw the roach warren. And INexorable, he is aware. He also should be aware of the earlier spawning pool as well. Reaper dips in. And he will confirm. Yeah, he does confirm. Back at home, Link does arrive to delay the CC. So he is there to delay. And it looks like he will disrupt a little bit here. Oh, does not get the SCV though. It doesn't kill the SCV. We do see that INexorable is going for a low ground defense. This is a bold move. I don't know if he can pull this off. But he's going for the low ground defense instead. 3 bunkers on the way. This is a big investment here to hold on. For those that are curious, what we would typically see is a high ground defense. We would defend on the high ground. We would lift the CC on the low ground with 1 bunker. We'd be able to pull off a defensible hold. From here, INexorable wants to be greedy. He wants to maintain saturation at the natural, which will cost him more bunkers. And we'll see if Claw can punish this. See if he can punish. As he is fanning out with his army. He sees the wall of bunkers. And again, there's only 2 Marines. Only 2 Marines, but he is deterring this army. He is keeping Claw at bay. Behind this, Claw is droning. Claw is rushing into a faster lair. 1-1-1 out of INexorable. Now with Ravagers, he can pile this down, but alas, the tank has arrived. And INexorable, he should be fine. He should be fine. He should be able to hold on. If we had preserved resources for a faster Ravager Morphin, then this low ground could have been broken, but this is not all in, right? This is not committed. Claw is droning up. And this does force a response, but right now INexorable is in a much better position. It was just a really good call, like a really good call out of INexorable. Again, if Claw was all in, I would say that INexorable was in trouble, but Claw wasn't all in, right? It was just an initial roach rush into droning, so INexorable was fine. He's perfectly fine. From here, we're getting to a 3rd CC, likewise a 2nd Rax as well. We're switching into Roach Ravager Ling main. We're getting into the mid game. Getting to the mid game from here. From here, it's going to be on Claw to recover. Coming into the mid game, I would say that INexorable, he's in a better position. He has more workers, he has better saturation, he has mules on top of that, so INexorable, he is ahead economically. Again, the early Roach Rush just didn't really pay for itself. Was not worth it for Claw. Now going into Overlord speed, interesting. Overlord speed is on the way. Are we tempted to go for a drop play? Potentially. Scan into the main, reveals nothing too crazy. Scan into the natural, just confirming the setup, the production, the tech. Here it is going to be on Claw to hold on to maintain his bases. INexorable, he isn't going for any kind of major push. He is taking a 3rd, but only going for drop play. Only going for drop plays. So INexorable is playing this safe, playing this more macro. He's applying some pressure, denying some creep. He is not committed. Hydrogen here from Claw. Going to the main Hydra. This is going to be a more gas-intensive composition. I'll be honest, I don't think Claw has the gas to sustain Hydra production. He's only on 2 gases. Now getting a third gas geyser. And a fourth gas geyser. Like he's, yeah. He's now taking his gases. Hydrogen is done, but again, Claw can't really afford Hydras, so this is a bit of a more awkward tech switch. He is working on those upgrades. So let's go. We have 3 Hydras on the way. The problem here is that investing into Hydras this quickly, like the upgrades aren't really there for them. So there's some anti-air, I suppose. But for the most part, INexorable is still in control. Still looking solid. Nice target firing here on the Banelings. Sims into the main. Does what the Hydras, is aware. And will boost away. Now we have confirmation INexorable he's not going for a 3-base all-in. He is getting a 4th CC, 2nd factory, extra gases. So INexorable he's playing at a longer and later game. He's playing standard. And he's still ahead. Like INexorable is still in a better position. He has momentum, he has the map control. Again, nice target firing. It looks like one medevac does not go down. He's holding on to that boost. Let's boost away in time. Likewise, INexorable, here comes the main push. Again, this entire time he has just been poking and prodding, but here comes the main army. INexorable, he's had enough waiting. Does break out, and oh god, like I'll be honest, it's gonna be a tough hold for Claw. Does commit in, he's got a handful of Banelings, but not enough Banelings, too many Hydras. We have 13 Banelings on the way, but without Banelings, he cannot break this bio army, as there are 5 tanks behind this. Decent Baneling connections. Got some decent connections towards the end. Running out of Marines, running out of bio. Tanks are still pushing forward. Again, INexorable, he had a rough fight towards the end, as he bled out a lot of Marines, but he still has enough. He still has enough. Breaks through the main army, breaks through the Lings, breaks through the Hydras. And with that, GG, well played. INexorable, he will take a further lead in the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Once again, INexorable just had a very strong start. We had Claw going for an early Roach rush into 4 Roaches, 1 Ravager, or 2 Ravagers really, but he didn't go for an all-in, just an early Roach rush, and he did not do enough damage. He was hoping to at least force an overreaction and delay the natural, but if you remember, we did see that INexorable, he just threw down 3 bunkers. He decided to call the bluff. He called his opponent's bluff. He maintained his natural, and he got it fully operational, real fast and real quick. Early on, I say early on, the entire game, INexorable, he had the better economy up until the end. Towards the end, he did cut workers at 66, pushed out on 3 bases, and again, unfortunately, Claw, he just could not keep up. Not after the early game. He did decide to switch into Hydras. I would argue that he switched too soon. Too soon into Hydras. Their Hydras, they're good supportive units in a longer game, but against these earlier and these strong timing attacks at around 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, that's where Ling Bane is most crucial to survive against the bio army and to get on top of the tanks. The Hydras, they didn't really do much there in that final fight. With that, GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3, and we're hoping for a back and forth. We'll see if Claw can bring it back and make a series out of this. INexorable needs 1 more game to claim the series. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, meanwhile, shout out to Bombilla in the chat. Ga, papi, ga. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. Good to see you, Bombilla. Subscribe for 2 months in a row. How is doing my best Australian friend? Ay, papi, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Good to see you. Es temprano aquí en la mañana. Temprano. Son las 7 de la mañana. 7 in the morning. But we're good. We're going strong, but oh my god. As in the top right hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, representing his new team, Little Fairy, INexorable. Let's go. Have INexorable. And in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Eximius Gaming. It is Claw. Once again, pool first. Now, we have seen a pool first into an early gas geyser every game so far. Game 1, it went for a lair into a 2-base Nidus all-in. Game 2 was early Roach Rush. Game 3, once again, there's that gas geyser before the hatchery. What haven't we seen yet? So we've seen a Nidus all-in. We've seen a Roach Rush. We have not seen a setup for straight up 2-base Muta. We did see mutas in game 1 technically, but that was after the Nidus, right? That was after the failed Nidus worm. So we could see straight up 2-base muta here. We could see maybe a drop lord base all in and going for earlier lair into earlier overlord speed into Queen Roach. We'll see where Claw takes us. We'll see what the gas is going to be spent on. That's what I'm most curious by. Do we spend it on link speed? Do we spend it on something else? So we'll keep an eye on the gases here for Claw. I see you with the stream on always. Yeah, siempre, papi, siempre. We cost more than any other channel out there, more than anyone else, and we have the answer. It's going to be earlier gas into earlier roaches. So far, this is the same build that we saw last game. Same build. Same. Now, if you remember, last game, it was only 4 roaches. Only 4 roaches, and then Claw droned. I would not be opposed to maybe Claw committing harder into this aggression and leaning into it more. Meanwhile, SCV Scout confirms. Oh, that is brutal. SCV Scout does confirm the early roaches. INexorable, does he go for the low ground defense once again, or does he set up on the high ground? How committed is Claw going to be this time? As the Roach Warren is now done. Lings, they attempt to delay. There we go, 4 roaches in production. Last game was only 4, and this time, yep, same thing. Same thing. Only 4 roaches. So behind this, Claw is droning. So he's not committing too hard into this, but it is delaying his economy is a problem. Like, this is still delaying himself to be this aggressive. And we saw that last game he killed 0 SCVs. Misread here from INexorable. He throws down the high ground defense instead. What does this mean? This means that INexorable, he will not lose SCVs, but he will abandon his natural. He will be stuck on one base that much longer. Okay, so the mind games. The mind games are real. INexorable, he will give up on the natural, and this is what Claw wanted last time. Like, Claw, he wanted INexorable to overreact and to over-respond. And there it is. We have the bunkers on the high ground. A tank is on the way. Ravagers, they waddle in. And then he'll have to lift. He'll have to lift. Now he knows. The Reaper gets across the map. He sees the drones. He sees the workers at the natural. So now INexorable, he knows that he has been caught off guard. INexorable, he wants to fight for the low ground. Without a bunker, it's going to be a tough hold. Tank shot goes off. Gets one. Ooh, gets one Ravager. Claw does overextend. And you can see INexorable, he refuses to lift. He refuses to lift up. He refuses to lift off. Now, this is a shakier defense because the bunkers are not really coming into play. But INexorable, he will maintain the low ground. He will expand. And so far, I love this response by INexorable. Even though he overreacted at the start because of the Reaper scouts, and again, it happened off screen, but the Reaper actually got across the map, saw that the natural base was full of workers. Once he saw that, he fought for the low ground. INexorable, he fought for the low ground, and he does maintain it. In the end, does bleed out 5 SCVs. Scan into the natural does reveal gases being taken. Lair is on the way. And I would say currently INexorable has the better economic game state. He has a better economy. He's down 2 SCVs, but he has mules, so technically I would say ahead economically. What I'm curious by though, with that lair from Claw, with that second gas, is he going into 2-base Muta? Is he gonna go into, oh, that's 9 overlords on the way. Oh god. But does he go into more gases? Does he go for a Spire, or does he go into Roach speed? Where are we going with this? Lair is still on the way.
Swarm forces under attack.
Lair is still on the way. Speaking of always casting StarCraft, I believe we have 3 casts today. We have, technically, in this day period, we have the Brazilian StarCraft Circuit, we have the May Madness in a couple of hours, and then we have the Tuna Cup as well. And then we have more Brazilian StarCraft Circuit, and we also have the Thermal 2 Circuit as well. Let's go. I think we have like 6 events in 24 hours. Something like that. It's an intense weekend. Intense weekend. Always. I think it's like 8 events in 48 hours, something like that. Scan at the natural. You can see INexorable is looking for the lair. Sorry, he's looking for the spire. He's looking for the spire. We can see it's going to be Ling Bane, Roach Ravager. It is not going to be Mutaplay. I like this early move out though. I mean, Claw, he's not ready. He's not ready for an early push like this. He's morphing in some Roaches from Ravagers, some slow Banelings. It's going to be a tough hold here for Claw. Not impossible, but it's going to be tough. Bearing in mind, no Baneling speed for this defense. These are going to be slow Banes. So they should not connect. They should not connect. So you go, the army does push forward. Gets eyes on the Banelings. Tanks do siege. So far, nice target firing on the Ravager. On the Queen as well. But Baneling speed is on the horizon. It's almost done. I think Claw holds. Yeah, this is taking too long. It's taking too long. Claw is going to hold. He will defend. And INexorable, he backs off. Really mature decision. Like, INexorable, he realized that it took him too long to get across map, took him too long to push into the bases. He recognized he missed his timing. He respects it, pulls away. And with that, INexorable, he preserves the army. That's what's important. He preserves the army. He pulls back home, sets up defensively, and builds up towards a later timing. This time with 1-1 upgrades, with concussive shells, sorry, with combat shields, with stim. We're building up towards a longer game state. Okay. We have a game. INexorable starts to... Oh no! Ooh, late reaction, late response. INexorable caught with his pants down. Bleeds out a lot of Marines there. Now here comes Claw. Claw, he's not droning. He takes a 4th base only for Larva. He's not droning up. Spoke too soon. Now he drones. This is late, I would say. These are late workers for Claw. I assumed he was going for an all-in. He does not. He sees a defensive setup here. Doesn't like what he sees. Ling Bane rolling on forward. This is not the fight to take. If we're not going all in, we should be pushing in like this. Gets 1 tank for all that Ling Bane. And Claw has to retreat, has to back off. Has to pull away. Still very close, very intense. Supplies are neck and neck. Tanks are sieging. Banelings get spotted. They finish. Oh no! Late reaction from INexorable. Pulls away a little bit too late. And with that, Claw, he will clean this up. He will shut this down. Claw did not have enough Marines. Sorry, I should say INexorable didn't have enough Marines. And with that, Claw takes a strong fight. And INexorable overextends. Big overextension. Claw has momentum. For the first time this series, for the first time this series, Claw has momentum. Claw is in a better position. Claw, for the first time this series, he's up in workers, up in drones, up in supply. 1-1 is on the way. Now, that's my biggest concern. Okay, so if the game extends, right, if the game goes on any longer here into a longer macro game, the upgrades are so late. Sorry, Claw, he has 0-0. He's on 0-0 right now. He's just now working on 1-1 upgrades. Meanwhile, INexorable, there's going to be a period in time where the Terran player has 2-2 over the 0-0 of the Zerg. Like, that's terrifying. Now, if the game progresses, eventually Claw will catch up. Eventually, Claw, he will catch up and he will make up for those upgrades, but he needs time. This also shows that he wasn't really set up for a longer macro game. Like, he had no upgrades. As INexorable moves down, that's a kill, not a cancel on the expansion. Ay. Takes down the hatchery. Oh, he's taking up into the infestation pit, working towards hive tech. INexorable is just turtling up back at home. We have a siege line. We have a missile darts as well. In preparation for tunneling claw roaches. From here, and INexorable just going for drop play. Double jump into the natural. Gets behind the mineral line. Does get behind. Behind, just buying time. Both armies are maxing out. Remember, 3-3s on the way for INexorable. Claw is on 1-1. He did not begin 2-2. So again, upgrades are falling by the wayside here for Claw. The hive is going to complete, and from here he can go into Viper Tech, which will help, but actually going into Lunkers. And eventually Vipers, I'm sure. But I would say that Claw is stuck with a bit of a subpar army. Oh, jeez, there are so many tanks. Oh my god. The tank level. Bit of miscontrol, bit of mispausing. Does mispause. And oh my god, that's what? No, that's 10 tanks. 10 tanks moving out. That's an insane tank count. Without Vipers, how do you defend against this? Oh. As we do surround the initial drop. The tanks, they just siege up, they push in. I don't see how Claw deals with this. Not this early on. No, without Vipers. Speaking of, one Viper goes down. I believe there's 3 Vipers left. Claw is pushing in. He does force himself forward. We have 4 lurkers on the way. It's not going to be ideal. Baneling's morphing in as well against a heavy tank and marauder count. Baneling's not ideal either. Some decent melee connections on the bio, at least on the Marines. But the tank count does push forward. He gets some blinding clouds. The lunkers are set, but GG, well played. And INexorable, he will snowball out of control. He will take the series 3-0. He will advance on to the upper bracket semifinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. INexorable, he will claim the series. Coming into this, he was the favorite player. I was hoping for a back and forth, and again, there were some nice moments here for Claw, but only some nice moments. Unfortunately, he did still fall behind when it came to a longer game. His upgrades were lacking, his economy was still building up, and his tech was also lacking as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, INexorable will claim the series, and we have 1 best of 5 remaining. 1 best of 5 left. It's going to be a best of 5 between Master and Dorminoko. Let's go. A PvZ right after the break. Shouldn't be a long one. Should be a short break here. We'll be back in a minute or so with our final best of 5. Then we have a bunch of best of 3s afterwards. See you soon. See you soon. Happy. See you soon.